Hello again. Like two-thirds of people in Britain, I give regularly to charity. In my case, it's to sponsor a child in a refugee camp in Gaza. That is, of course, a purely personal decision which I make for myself. I decide to do it with my own money. As I say, the majority of people in Britain do something similar, giving an astonishing £10 billion a year to charity. That is £10,000 million given quite voluntarily to various charities. I think we can all agree that this is a good thing. However, I don't like to have my arm twisted into being compelled to give to charity, which is what the British government has been doing for years. Every time I earn £100, they seize a fifth of it, and from that amount they choose how much of my money they're going to give away to other countries. I object to this. One of the things to which I object is that the process is so cumbersome and bureaucratic that very little of the money will actually filter down to those whom it is supposed to benefit. A lot of the money is earmarked anyway for things which I consider a waste of time, like helping other countries reduce their carbon footprint and so on. We're currently dishing out £500 million a year for other countries for that, to help with climate change. This is currently hot news because Britain at the moment gives away 0.7% of the national income to foreigners, which works out at about £14 billion. The government, though, plans to reduce this to 0.5%, a mere £10 billion. Various people are complaining that this will have a devastating impact on countries like Pakistan, one of the chief beneficiaries of our generosity. Some of us feel that if a country like Pakistan has enough money to be able to develop its own nuclear weapons program, they are a nuclear power, then they're probably doing well enough to get by without the £305 million which we hand over to them every year. I see that the Nigerians pocket £258 million a year. I wonder how much of that actually reaches the deserving poor and how much is diverted to numbered bank accounts in Zurich. As for the idea that a communist dictatorship like China should be given £1 million of our money this year, this is beyond all reason. The Chinese even have their own space station now. They're planning to land people on the moon. Why should we subsidise them? You can expect to hear an awful lot of people moaning about this in the next few days. Not moaning about throwing all these vast sums of money into the bottomless pit, which is the third world, you understand, but rather complaining about our stinginess in only giving away £10 billion this year, instead of the £14 billion which everybody was expecting. I wonder if anybody watching this video can think of a better way that we could use those billions of pounds. I was wondering about projects like providing ex-servicemen with decent homes, or looking after old people in Britain and so on. The recipients of all that aid which we give are not in the least bit grateful and will still be denounced as wicked infidels. I say this because the top places we give aid to seem to be nearly all Muslim countries: Pakistan, Afghanistan, Yemen, Bangladesh, Syria, Somalia. These also happen to be the countries which supply most of the fanatical terrorists which have plagued us over the last few decades. Perhaps sending them billions of pounds is an attempt to appease them, a bit like paying the Danegeld. As I say, my own feeling is that making a personal decision to send our money abroad to alleviate poverty in the third world is one thing. Lots of us do it, and some of us don't. Having the government take my money and then decide for me which countries they will send it to is something else again. There's an awful lot in this country that we could be fixing before we start subsidising Nigeria and Pakistan.